After sitting on stale ducks for most of the fall, we finally had a major cold front go through with just 2 weeks left of the season. And it's cold out and there was a lot of ice this morning. And so now is the time, if you haven't, to get your dog's vest fit dialed in. And so I'm gonna get V out and I'm gonna go over the 3 vests that I've had over the last couple of years, talk about the pros and cons of each, and then which one I'm using most of the time, and then adjustments and things like that. And then as a bonus, I'm going to pull up an old video I did, a similar type of video with Lily, who was in a different category, being an extra small dog. With her, I had to make some modifications. And so I'm gonna tag that video, which is probably about 6 years old, onto the end of this one. But we're gonna talk about vest fit, what you need to look for, and how to properly fit your dog for a vest this season. This was a vest that I was excited when I first got because it's adjustable and I like a lot of other products from this company. However, once I got it, you can see, still got the tags on it. I've had it for 2 years and I've not used it, and it's because of the fit. So even though it's adjustable, this panel here, so this top panel, which is not adjustable, fits too low in my opinion. And so it is right over the point of her shoulder. So where that, the bigger arm bone, so your humerus meets the scapula, sits right under this material and there's no adjusting around that. So every time she moves, that shoulder is contacting, sorry V, that shoulder is contacting that vest material. It's restricting the movement and likely would, over a long term, over the course of a season, cause irritation to that shoulder. So this vest is a no-go for me. Even though it's adjustable, there's too much material here over that shoulder, restricting, potentially causing issues with the shoulder. And so I've never had her wear this vest in the field, and basically just kept it for these sort of demonstration purposes of what you don't want your vest doing on these shoulder joints. So now we got the Rig 'em Right vest on, and this is the vest that she's worn most of the last 2 years. It's not ideal, and I'm going to show you why, and that falls on me. I could make some adjustments to this vest. What I like about it is it's just easy to get on. It's not an overly built vest, so it's not overly heavy, and that's why most of the season, when it's not super cold and I'm basically using it more for protection, that I'll run this vest. And so the things I like about it, you can see the shoulder joint is freed up. And so you may be saying, well, it falls in that same area, and you're correct. These vests are going to have to come in the region of the shoulder, but it doesn't hit that shoulder joint. It clears it by an inch or two, which when we're talking about right over those tendons, an inch or two is huge. And so she's got a lot more freedom of movement with this vest. Now the negatives, she's in between sizes. So this is a large, and I also own a medium. The medium's too tight, the large is too big. And so when we look at it, you can see she's got it scoops around her here. And so I can fit my whole hand through there, no problem. Same thing in back. And so she's a pretty standard size dog. And so I was hoping she would fit a standard size. I'm gonna talk in the last segment here about adjusting these vest sizes. So if I were to run this vest in the cold, I would use some neoprene cement and aqua seal and cut this up, or take it into a seamstress and have some of this excess material taken out. Right now, because of when I use it, I haven't altered this vest. It fits my needs for the early season. And so this is a good vest. If your dog's standard size fits this, I'd have no problem with this vest, and I do use it quite a bit. This particular vest for late season, so the kind of stuff we're encountering right now, it's not fit with her, it doesn't fit her well, and so that's where I'm gonna switch to the next vest that I'm gonna show in this video. So this is the vest that V will wear the rest of the season. It's what she wore today when we were out there in the cold. And you can see how well this vest fits. And so her being black and this front strap being black, maybe it might not show up. I try to get better lighting here in the garage. But you can see how free that shoulder is. The entire shoulder is exposed. And so there's no restrictions of movement. From a fit for an athletic dog, this vest by far the best. And so, especially as a sports medicine vet, I see a lot of shoulder issues. No one's ever done a study to see, do harnesses, do vests cause that? But it's one of the things I think about, especially with I see dogs come in with harnesses that contact here, that same sort of biomechanics. If you have a dog that's swimming or retrieving and we're constantly hitting that shoulder, at a minimum, it's not good. And so I like this vest a lot. It was designed by a veterinarian. I've never asked Ira if he had biomechanics in mind when he designed it, but if he did, great. If he didn't, it's a great design either way from a biomechanics standpoint. The other thing I like about this vest is it's adjustable. So you can see we're snug all over, but not too tight. So I can fit it to V. And then the part I don't like, or the negative, is also one of the positives. And so it has these panels that are swappable. And so a lot of the year I run white. Oftentimes when we start icing up like we are now, we'll have snow on the ground. We don't right now. And that's why I still have the camo panels on here. And then I run this in the spring snow goose season as well. These are exchangeable, so you can just take these off and put them back on. The vest is very heavy, and so that's why I don't necessarily run it early season. It just feels like a heavy-duty, well-built vest, but there's also a lot going on there for the dog. And so we get these early season hunts when it's fairly warm and I'm using the vest for protection. I'll default to that Rig'em Right versus this one when you know the rubber hits the road and the temperatures are bottomed out like they are right now. This is my go-to vest, and you can see we apparently got up a little bit too early. V's a little tired. She didn't work too hard today. The spot we were going to hunt was iced up, and so we had to work for our ducks, and I was getting nervous with breaking ice and having dogs around. And so in the next segment, I'm going to talk about the vest that I used to run with a smaller dog, with Lily, who was in that 25-pound ballpark. But as far as vests go, in a standard size retriever, the Mole March I think is really good. You can see here it's got a nice clip in the back as well. For stakeouts, she's not the steadiest dog in the world, so there's a little added where those tie-ins work. It isn't equal in all the vests, and so I really like the D-ring on this one. So those are the little things you want to look for, particularly if you got an unsteady dog like V here. The last vest that I want to talk about is this Avery Vest, and so it's what I used with Emma, my Chessie, and then Lily, my Cocker. Couple things. I like the construction of this vest. I thought it fit the dogs pretty well. It's one of the few vests that comes in extra small, and so this is Lily's old vest. It hasn't seen use in a few years because she's been gone, and it kind of brought tears to my eyes when I dug up the video that I'm going to show about the fit of this vest on her, and then how to adjust these sort of vests. It's a real easy adjustment. I posted a similar reel on another format, and people commented about using seamstress and things like that. You can adjust these yourself with neoprene cement and AquaSeal. It works really well. And so this portion of the video I did, it looks like 6 years ago when I dug it up. So a while ago, similar situation. We had some weather move through, and I'm going to show you Lily wearing this vest and the fit on these smaller dogs. So if you have one of these spaniels like I'm hunting out in the cold, these Avery vests that come in extra small, you're really going to want to check out. Today we're out, just got done duck hunting here in South Dakota. It's our first real cold snap of the year. The wind was out of the north pretty good. We had a little bit of snow on the ground. And I thought it was a good time to talk about vest fit in these hunting dogs. Lily is your non-traditional duck hunting breed here as a Cocker, and so it's this time of year at the end of October, first part of November, that I start worrying about her on these duck hunts. And so what I worry about is, obviously she doesn't have the undercoat that like a Lab or a Chessie would have, and so she's just not built for it. And so the neoprene vests are super important to me for these dogs, keeping them warm. The problem with a dog like her is they're not built for her, and so we call her the power weasel because she's low to the ground and long, and so she doesn't have that typical physique for most of these vests. And so this is an extra vest that I have not modified, and you can see I can fit my entire hand sideways down into that vest opening. The water is just going to pool in there, right? And same with the back here. Her waist is so much narrower than most of these dogs that here again, it's just real floppy and a lot of extra material back here. And so what do? Obviously these companies don't make custom sized vests for these little dogs. This is as small as they'll get. And so how do you adjust those? Come on, Kennel. So we're gonna put Lily up and I'll show you. So this is Lily's actual vest. I just haven't modified that one, and you can see what we did here is that there's a product called neoprene cement that you can get at most dive shops, and then make the adjustments. And so basically what I did is I took that extra material that was around her neck and cut it out, and then you take that cement and you put the two sides together, and then used a product like AquaSeal to then seal over the outside. I've had this vest since starting duck hunting with her. She's 12 years old almost now, so 11 and a half, and so she's had it about a decade. I thought for certain that this would give out, and that's why I have the extra vest that I bought at the same time as I bought this original. And as you can see, it's held up the entire time. Same way here at the bottom. So, you know, the extra material that we had here at the top, we had at the bottom as well. And so I did the same thing with this seam back here. It was just easier, instead of being around the zippers, to make that adjustment at the bottom. And so I cut that extra material for a better fit with Lily. And so I'm gonna put the vest on her, and then we'll be right back, and you'll be able to see how that vest is. Okay, so we're back here with Lily with the modified vest on, and you can see how much snugger that fit is here at the front. So I don't have that big scoop. I can't fit my hand down in there like I could before, and same way around her waist. It's a much tighter fit, and so we're gonna keep that water from pooling up in there, keep that entire core warm. Is shivering right now is just excitement. She wants to get back out in the field, and so I think we'll oblige her and do that. Just remember, fit is very important with these vests. You don't want them too tight, you don't want them too loose. You kind of want to go the Goldilocks method of just right, and you may have to do some adjustments yourself.